All right, what's up, guys? On the episode today, we are talking about episode 3 of season 1 of Black Mirror. That's right. It's the entire history of you. I'm Jeremy Miller.
Cassidy Jodie.
And Michael Harness.
And this is Flicks and Six. All right, everybody. As we said up top, we are talking about the entire history of you. Ooh, goddamn, what an episode.
Jeez.
Cringy.
Who wants to go first on their minute?
Oh, shit.
I
didn't have my
forgot
phone out.
about that.
Wasn't even thinking about my letter grade at all.
Oh, boy.
We just spent the last 2 hours just doing nonsense. I mean, I can go.
Yeah,
Okay.
just go. We'll go down the line.
All right.
Honey.
You want me to go? I'm ready.
No, it's fine. I got it.
Okay.
I got
All right. Michael is going to fire it up on his
All right,
minute
3,
review.
2, 1, go. I liked it. I will say a lot more than I did the first time. I said that after we watched it, and I think we all have the same realization that like the newer, I almost said it, seasons of Black Mirror were they're not as Black Mirror-y, quotes.
Yes.
But I did like watching this one much better this time around. Very cringy, very moments. You feel real bad for the guy, but also not at the same time. I mean, it definitely belongs in season 1 for a reason, and I can't believe that I was like, whatever. Whose favorite was this? This was yours?
No, this is Jeremy's.
This is your favorite? Yeah, I mean, it's a great episode. 9 seconds. My letter grade, I'm going to have to go with A-.
Boom.
Boom.
Love it.
Well done, Michael.
I might
Cass,
change
you
it
ready?
later, but we'll see.
All right, Cass.
All right. Yeah, full
3,
slow countdown.
2,
1.
1.
Okay, ready for this?
We're
Wow.
ready.
Oh, we did that earlier. Anyways, back to the point. So this episode was so much better the second time around. I'm definitely with Michael on this one.
Yeah.
I maybe didn't give it too much attention. I knew it was really cringy, and I did not like the idea so much that I stopped looking for that under layer of it. And watching it again, I was just... Black Mirror does a really good job at making things super cringy in just everyday life. Like, it was such a real episode besides the technology going on. It was such an everyday fighting with the wife and like real life problems that like you just think about and just in themselves without the technology, you're kind of like fucking A.
Yeah.
So my letter grade, I will have to go I'm going to give it an A- too. I really liked it, but
Time.
okay.
But what?
It's almost too cringy.
Yeah.
In a sense where
I knew that's
That
what you were going to
almost
say.
is why I gave it an A, is because I
I
like the
can't
cringe.
make up my
Well,
mind.
give me a minute,
That's
give me a
the
minute.
problem.
3,
I got it.
2, 1, go.
Okay. This is my favorite episode of season 1. Okay. And definitely in the top 5 of the entire anthology. Okay. Because this episode cuts to the core. It shows us. This episode aired in 2011. Okay. And it shows us exactly where advanced computer technology, phones, and everything of the like are taking us and could take us when you combine that tech with basic human psychology, right? You take emotions like jealousy, fear, anger, insecurity, self-doubt, all these things, and you combine it with technology that allows you to fuel that fire endlessly, and you've got a recipe for a fucking dark episode. I thought it was brilliantly acted, brilliantly scripted, absolutely beautiful cinematography, cool-ass tech, hard A out of the gate.
All right, cool. Boom.
Boom. So that's our
Very
initial
well
take.
spoken.
Okay, that's our initial take on the entire history of you. Now, let's dive in.
Oh, God.
Okay, so if you guys haven't seen the episode, this one, like...
You need to watch.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Get
don't
some
want
popcorn.
any spoilers. Just you go in and watch it.
Yes, ma'am.
Grab a snack.
Get a snack.
Get nothing caffeinated. Get water.
Get water.
You're going to need
Stay
water.
hydrated. Make
Get
sure you
water.
have a blanket. There are times where, like, for no other reason, you just want to cringe and cover your eyes.
Oh, I
Yes.
was hiding through my fingers. Like,
Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
not. It's. I felt like I was watching Saw for a second.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it was like I
Oh.
didn't want to watch, but like.
But you had
it
to
was
know.
just like him walking through the door or something. I'm
Hostile.
like, no.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I want to throw out a little caveat to our first-time listeners
Yep.
to our Black Mirror reviews.
Okay.
This is, in my opinion, a great episode to start this series with. If you've never watched Black Mirror before, this is a good intro because it's fucking
Real.
dark. It's real and it cuts you, right? But it's not so over the top like National Anthem that it could potentially
Steer
turn
you
you
away.
off, right?
Sure. No, I get that.
But this to me is the epitome of Black Mirror, and I absolutely love it. So if you guys have never seen Black Mirror, go get this episode, okay? Season 1, episode 3, fucking get it. Now, if you have seen it, we're going to dive
go.
in. Here
It's a
we
lot.
go. Okay, this is the last chance for
outta
spoilers,
here.
Yeah, pause
alerts.
it, go, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Then
But
come
here
back.
we go. And we're going to start this episode in style with characters.
Ugh.
All right?
So much to talk about.
So much.
Sexy.
Okay.
You got it
Should we
pulled up
just
there.
start with Liam?
Yeah, I got-
What's his name?
Liam
What's his real
is
name?
Toby Kebbell.
Oh,
I know. I knew
oh,
his name was Toby, but Kebbell.
That's such a cute name too.
Oh, you're obsessed.
He's cute.
But it's funny because I knew he was cute, right? And I think the same thing happened
He was cuter this
when I
time.
watched it the last time. Is at the beginning he's not douchey, but he kind of is, and he's kind of annoying. Where I didn't think
Well,
he was
we'll get
as
there.
cute. And then the more angrier he got, I was like,
Because
damn.
his real personality. Well, yeah, he was drunk, but like, hey, I mean, alcohol like brings the real you kind of out.
Yeah,
you know,
and I've
like
got-
that's who he
Yeah,
is.
when
I've
he
got
was, like,
talking
sitting
points
there-
on that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was sitting there just doing the interview, I was like, oh, he's totally not as cute as I thought he was. But then as the season went on, I was definitely like,
Right.
hello.
And I mean, like those of you out there listening, like, we're talking about Liam, the main character.
Yeah, main
He's-
character.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, he was in Fantastic Four as Victor Von Doom.
I know. He,
which was a total flop.
the remake, awful.
Oh, dude,
I
that
haven't seen
fucking
that.
remake,
it
dude.
was
Was
terrible
he in any
remake.
TV shows? I feel like I've seen him in like a series.
You know,
But I mean, him in the show, he played that
He
character
did
very
an
well.
amazing job.
Jealous husband.
Oh my God.
He said like later on in the episode, he's like, you know, when your instincts are telling you something's wrong or off. He knew it the whole time.
Yeah.
You know.
When your instincts are telling you something's off, and you're right. I like when
he says, you know, when you suspect something, it's always better when it's true.
yes,
Right.
Which is
He is very passive aggressive, but also
dude.
just like super aggressive.
But here's the thing is that what I love about his character,
So good.
right, is that he portrays all these emotions like a fucking G, dude.
Yeah,
like
really well.
Like the jealousy, but like before we even get to the jealousy, and we'll get into the story obviously, but the way that he portrays like being a little bit less than as a husband, right? Like as soon as he walks into the party, you know, and she like sees him and she like walks up all awkward. We're talking about his wife.
Yeah.
You know, she like walks up to him and he plays the like, I'm like cool enough, but I'm not like a trophy husband.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like a good catch, but not like the best catch.
Well, he puts himself down. She's like, "Oh, this is my husband. You guys know him," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm about to be unemployed, so."
Yeah, I'm the unhireable, unemployable lawyer. So,
Yeah.
but like he plays it so well.
Yeah.
And the anger and the dude, his dialogue in this episode was fucking on fire, dude. When he's like, sometimes you're a bitch, you know, like just that super passive aggressive that like
the facial
gets more and more
expressions.
aggressive towards the end, you know, like when he's
And-
like, oh god.
But looking at it as a whole too, like the way he was acting with the like balance of the passive aggressiveness and the aggressiveness is usually how it goes when you think something's off and you can't figure it out,
Yes.
and then it progresses you to figure it out.
Yes, and we're gonna get to that, all the psyche shit, but
The real talking points are in the story.
absolutely. But
What
I-
other
The wife,
peeps we try
I
to talk
did
about?
not. The wife,
I hate her. I hate everything about her character. I thought she was the shittiest actor in this entire
Really?
episode.
I
Hated
didn't
her.
think she was terrible.
Nope.
I just think she
Didn't like her.
I didn't think she was terrible.
I just thought
She
it was
played
so
a role.
fake. Nope. I thought she sucked.
I'm kind of
She
in the
sucks
middle
as
on
a
this
wife.
She
one.
didn't sell it to me. Like that's like, yeah, she was playing the role and she was like going through the motions and she did all the right things, but I didn't believe it. I didn't
did
believe
not
that she
believe
was
the
remorseful.
bed when-
I didn't believe that she was like actually trying to get away with it. I didn't believe she was like portraying like this lying, cheating wife. Like I didn't.
But that's
care
what she
for her.
was. She was a lying, cheating
I get
wife.
it.
She didn't feel bad.
I get it, but she tries to backtrack and like, gets all emotional. But by that time, I could care less. Like,
Interesting.
there's no buildup for me to even care about her side of this at all. Like I know it's her cheating and him being like super jealous and all this shit, but I would like to see a little bit more on her part. That's really the only gripe I have, and it's not even really a gripe. It's just in terms of characters, I think he did an amazing job, and she just kind of fell more flat.
What would you have wanted more of from her? Like
To be more aggressive about it. Like if you're gonna try and lie to your husband that you had like haven't fucked this guy and didn't date him for 6 months, and it wasn't only a week, and it wasn't only a month, it was actually 6 months. Like, give me more. Like, don't just be like, well, you know, what's the point?
but it was like
Because obviously they've already
know.
gotten into another situation with the whole Dan thing. Like she keeps bringing this because obviously he's flown off the handles before and went missing for 5 days. So if this isn't the first time that something like this has happened between them, like I feel like she should be like, what the fuck? Because people, when they're getting caught in lies, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
They get very defensive.
Yeah.
She wasn't that defensive.
Yeah, I think the first half of the episode she played really well. Of like, dude, you're fucking. What are you like tripping? And like at
That's
the
where-
party, she was cold enough to where we, the audience, know
Yeah.
that something's up.
Well, yeah, that's where
Right?
that cringe comes in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why
But
is
it was
she so
just
weird?
super awkward.
But where I side with Michael is when the situation goes down with the babysitter, right? And he like calls the babysitter in. He's replaying all the tapes of his wife flirting with Jonas, who we'll get to. You know, he brings the babysitter in, and she's like mad about it, and then like just goes to bed. Right? I'm like, that is not
She
how
literally
that would
goes
happen.
to sleep.
Yeah.
Like no
in-
guilty person would be able to go to sleep.
No, in real life, she walks the babysitter out. She comes back in and she goes, "What the fuck is
Right.
wrong with you?
Right.
What are you doing?" You know, and then they have a big blowout. But she was just kind of like, "What's wrong with you?"
Like-
you know.
I just thought that was still so real. It's like he's drunk. It's kind of like, go do whatever you
Well,
gotta fucking
and,
do.
And one thing
She
I
kind of
will
made a fool out of
I'll
herself.
throw to argue against myself.
Yeah.
Is that when you're trying not to get caught, you don't want to blow anything out even bigger.
Sure.
That's why it's like I felt like she had a baseline, you know, like they didn't need her to be extreme or not, you know. It's kind of like she's just that
And-
wife.
And it does kind of
I don't
keep you
even know
guessing.
her name.
Fee.
Fee.
Oh yeah.
Fion.
Yeah, it's like a
That's,
Pokemon.
Fiat.
that's super British.
I think
dude.
it's Effion. Effion? Because it
Effion?
had an E at the beginning. Effion?
No,
No,
Effion.
Yeah, it did. It was Efion.
Effion.
Effion.
Fee.
Fee.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Fiat.
But
what about
I'm-
Jonas?
I think we talked about this last time when we watched this. What a douchey name.
Yeah, dude. Jonas, like to
like
all the
it.
Jonases. Oh, you do like it?
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
But all the Jonases I've actually ever met in person are kind of dicks.
They're just
Yeah.
like, but they're like,
Apologies to all the Jonases
they
out
have
there.
charisma.
Charisma.
Charisma. I feel like a lot of Jonases I know have charisma.
They're very like suave.
Yeah, but
That's
they're
true.
also just very douchey. And I was like, you fit in the named
There's
role.
there's certain names that you're like, yeah, you're too swaggery. Like
Yeah.
you're sleazy. You know?
Yeah.
And
They
Jonas,
don't hate you, but you're kind of a dick.
Right.
Yeah. But I thought his character was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, they
Like-
needed. Yeah, he needed to be there.
Like Jonas is that like cool guy, like he's the cool type, like
But
Cool-
it's also, he
cool
can't do
stories
anything
at
wrong. Like he
dinner.
handled the situation when Liam shows up drunk, he handled it so like
Realistically.
gracefully. Yeah,
Yeah.
being like, you need to leave.
That was good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like now you need to leave. You have to go.
yeah.
I'm
Not
glad
like-
they didn't like. I'm glad he didn't get like too aggressive about it.
Oh,
that was
totally.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was perfect.
I
But
liked his.
What I loved about Jonas, right, and what they did so right with Jonas is when they're at the dinner scene, right, and Liam is kind of like so, and I've been in this situation so many times. We'll talk about it when we get to the story, but Jonas is like the cool guy at the party, right? He's like, you know, he's like making everybody laugh, but it's like over the douchiest shit. And you're sitting there at the table and you're like, dude, I fucking hate you so much because you're such a douche. But at the same time, I want to fucking be you,
Right.
Yep.
because you make me look like the douche,
Yeah.
even though I am clearly not the douche.
Right.
So you like hate him, but you want to be him.
Right. I
Right?
mean, it's a
And-
lot of those issues where it's like, I can't tell if I want to like fuck you or be you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Right. Or beat your ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Kick
like
the fucking living
and
shit
like
out of
we've
you.
all been in this situation.
yeah.
Let's segue to the story, guys. That's what we really want to
Yeah.
talk about.
I mean, there's no
Those
other
are
real
the
ca-
three main
That's it.
characters.
That's it. Okay, so in the story, right, it's like the guy Jonas, right? Like we've all been in a relationship, right, where we've seen the threat across the room, right? And you see, right? And you see your partner giving those fuck me eyes to the
Yeah.
cool guy in the room, right? And,
And
you're
the
like
hair and the-
you're like, God, fuck that guy. But the cause of that animosity is, how come my fucking girl doesn't look at me the way she looks at him?
Yeah.
Even though he's so clearly a douche and I'm totally cool, right? Like, how come I'm not getting that look?
Yep.
You know? And that's where they nailed Jonas.
Yep.
They nailed it.
Well, it's just such a common insecurity that people have. Even the most secure people, when you're at like a dinner party or things like that, you know, I think anybody gets like territorial.
Oh, for sure.
So, you know, your brain
doesn't
goes
matter.
there. It doesn't matter how secure you are or whatnot, you know. Especially it doesn't seem like he knows these are her friends
Right.
from back in the day.
Right.
So he's already kind of the odd man out a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
he's not part of that crowd
Yeah.
at all.
You know what's shocking to me that I just realized?
What?
We're like, whatever, how many minutes into this episode, and we have not once brought up the tech.
I was thinking
no,
that
no, no.
too. But
I was
figured
hoping that we were
would
gonna go with the story and then like
dissect
but
it
Yeah.
with
it's so much fucking worse
Yeah.
because of
Right, which it is.
It
it is.
Okay, so we're talking
terrible.
about the grain,
Oh.
okay, which is a little like grain of rice looking deal that you get implanted behind your ear, where basically it stores everything
Memories.
in real time that
All-
you're doing, and you can play it back at command.
and it has a lot of different controls. Zoom, there's voice, like there's
Lip
lip
reading.
reading.
And
Yeah.
then it'll so
my God, it's
so
crazy.
through this grain you can essentially go back and rewind a memory. You can pause it, you
Kinda
can
like
go
you're
back
on
and forth.
iMovie.
Yeah, you can zoom in on parts of the frame. You can if you see people, you can have it read their lips and then it'll recreate what they're saying, right? Now, when this first aired, right, in 2011, this has got to be like, wow, that's pretty out there. It's not fucking
Not
Not
at
far
all.
out there.
What was it? A couple years ago, we saw that article, which it's being worked on.
Yeah.
The contacts.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, he said that that's like his next step.
Of course it
is
is.
like basically that we are all cyborgs already because we have our phones. So at command, you can know anything, you can read anything, you can look anything up.
Oh, I hate that.
But that the only reason we're not full cyborg is because of slow
Not as,
bandwidth, right?
right.
Like you can only move as fast as your hand, right? And so his thing is
Mine
like
moves a lot faster.
to be the supreme being over AI, which is undoubtedly coming.
Ugh.
He wants to take your phone and put it in your brain.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's tons of like TV shows about
Yeah.
it. I mean,
yeah, Cass.
Oh my
It's-
god.
Yeah.
we're on our way to being like having like a little beep boop like right here.
Stop.
Oh, for sure.
But the way they build the tech into the story is absolutely brilliant because it shows Liam, the
So
lawyer,
amazing.
right, getting shut down kinda. But like it's
Yeah.
a soft shutdown, and then you see him replaying it, and you're like, oh my god, you're gonna relive.
It gets worse and worse every time you watch it.
Yeah.
Because the
He
first
zooms
time you
in
hear
and
it,
he rewinds and la, 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 la,
literally,
la,
that
la.
was the best line. I hope to look forward to seeing you
again.
soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it was
And
like
those facial expressions were like,
oh.
Yeah. And the first time you hear it, you're like, oh, okay, not
forward to
bad.
seeing me again.
But then
you
you watch it over and over, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is a
Yeah.
brutal shutdown.
Yeah.
Right? And that is the coolest part of this episode is the question, right? It is the, this seems like such a cool thing, and then it cuts to them at the party, and, they're all like redoing their tapes and replaying these little things and joking and drinking wine and and it's
that's
like,
cool that you can like cast it.
it's
to
cool, yeah.
Literally anything.
But we all know that shit would go dark so
That's
quick.
the thing is like, yeah, you can
wrong
use
file.
it for
Yeah.
fun things, but like no one's not going to take advantage of it. you
Right,
know, and
right.
it's gonna your insecurities
What?
and all these take advantage of the thingy. Like, yeah, it'd be cool to have like, let's throw that thing up on there and broadcast it. Remember that funny fall Cassidy did the other day?
Yeah.
You know, like that'd be awesome, but like no one's not going to take advantage of it and
Right.
go that dark way.
I thought you
Yeah.
said no one's going to take advantage of it. I'm like, Cass.
No, everyone's going to. is
I
what she's
literally
saying.
take advantage of everything on my phone. Like,
Yeah,
every
imagine
day.
imagine what that would do to us.
It would.
It would do exactly what we saw in this episode.
I mean, it would make everything that cringy. Like, dude, we don't need to see your hotel. Like, we don't put your spank bank away. Like, we don't need to see that. Like,
and
I'd
beyond,
be suicidal, to be honest.
everybody would be.
whoa.
Everybody would be. Everybody.
Why?
Let
Tell
me
me
break
why.
it down.
I would just depict everything, and I already distort things based off the way that it happens in normal time. That like I feel like rewatching it over, I truly distort it more. If
They
that
did
makes
touch
sense.
on that.
Where
Yeah.
like I would just keep watching it and like make myself miserable. Like
Yes.
at least now I can like, you know, they talk
You
about
can forget about it.
forget about it, but also
Yeah.
like
Enough.
you have the ability to say, okay, it's popping into my head. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we do mindfulness. It's such a
Right.
big thing these days. And it's
Right.
like, okay, I'm thinking about the future, or, you know, I'm thinking about the past. Let's be in the
Dude.
present
But you can
moment.
literally live in the past.
You can.
In the
Let me
present.
tell you why, Mike. Let me give you an example of
I just
why.
I can't think like that for some reason.
Let me give you an example. Okay, so when this was a couple years back, right? I
Okay.
discovered that all my iMessages were stored on my computer. Okay, every time I backed my phone up to my computer, it was backing up all my iMessages, right?
Yeah.
And this was probably like 2014 or 15, right? And so I'm like, oh, fuck, that'll be fun, right? So I start going through all these texts, right? And I came across a lot that were fucking painful, but I didn't stop. When I found the painful ones, I dug harder.
Yeah.
I went further. Why?
I've done that.
Because you're fucked up, dude. It's like going on Facebook and looking up an ex, right? Or like looking up the kid that outdid you at everything in high school, right? And seeing that they're like super famous and successful. And the more you look, the more you realize how fucking terrible it was, right? But that doesn't stop you from going. So imagine if at will you could relive that time you fucking got shut down. Or that time, like, you're like, oh, you know what? Like, who was that guy I went on a date with that one time? Like, let's rewind and look it up, right? And then as you're looking,
But you might have not done anything wrong, but now you're
second guessing. And then you see a visual and you're like, oh my God, I fucked that all up. And then you're like, wait, what else did I fuck up? Boom, dude. Dominoes. It's done, dude.
it's insane.
It's bad.
And to
my
throw it
mind
in
just
other
do-
people's
my mind
faces.
just doesn't go there.
Imagine
mind-
if you had like a bitch moment or something like that, you know, and said something, and someone just
Imagine.
kept.
Yeah. Michael does that. It's not a big
What
deal.
do
I
you
mean,
mean?
like if ever like people that maybe got mad from it would just keep throwing it in your face too.
Oh, that's the other angle.
You're a
is-
bitch. You're a bitch.
Yeah, like the other angle, because Liam calls his wife a bitch, right?
Yeah.
But
Sometimes a
yeah,
bitch.
exactly.
She edited
he
it.
says,
You can't just edit out the sometimes.
right? but that's exact. Imagine, like, we just covered what happens in your mind. Imagine what would happen if everybody you've come in contact with remembers
remember.
everything about you. Oh, I don't want that, dude. We've seen what Twitter can do to somebody.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I get it. I just my cognitive abilities just can't go there for some reason. Like, I hear everything you guys are saying, but in my mind, I'm fully romanticizing this.
Of course you are.
You love it.
I think it's really fucking cool, but I obviously see the detriments of having something like this. But
No one's living in the present moment.
I get that.
Right.
I
Like
mean,
the
but
sex.
oh
Sorry, I didn't mean
yeah,
to cut you off.
I literally just the sex. I was literally just making a joke, like, yeah, washing the dishes would be a lot easier if you could look at like all of your fucking spank mac materials.
Yeah,
like,
but Michael, you can't. You just put your phone above the sink. Fucking
Yeah.
push play, dude.
yeah, but you can see that.
Yeah,
That's
but you
true.
can't
Yeah, but
physically-
Michael, imagine
It's
if I walked
private.
into the kitchen and you're fucking doing the dishes with a boner, right? Like, I'm gonna know what you're doing.
Compared to any other day. That's what the waistband's for, man.
So that's why you're always doing the dishes in sweats. I knew something was up.
Gray sweats.
Yeah. You all right, Cass?
Oh my God, that was so amazing.
That got you.
I just.
But you can't even do the dishes because you were blinded at that point.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can do it.
All right, so here's the challenge,
Anyway.
audience. I'm gonna have Michael do the dishes blindfolded.
And see how
All
that
right,
goes.
while reminiscing about old flames.
Sure.
And we'll report back and let you know how it goes.
Yep.
Sure.
Maybe we'll even video it for Instagram.
Patreon.
Yeah.
You're not putting that on Instagram. People need to pay to see that.
All right, behind the paywall of Flicks and Six,
Yeah.
you'll get Mike in his sweatpants doing dishes.
Well, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Challenge accepted.
but I do want to talk about one thing. It's more so about the society factor because obviously even the baby had it. So like I think it's like when you're born, it's like here's your grain,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
But then there's people out there who are it's called getting gouged.
Yeah.
Like people are
The
coming up
grainless.
Black market.
Yeah.
for rich white or not, it doesn't have to be white, rich people that
They
want-
actually said Chinese in the show.
that was like her speculation. I think that's
Yeah.
what she was told by like the cops or something.
Yeah.
But it's on the black market. It can go to whoever, highest bidder kind of moment where people will pay for someone like a attractive person's grain to see like, them like getting out of the shower and look at themselves in the mirror and like getting pounded. And, like, oh,
Yeah, I mean,
so-
like that's like next level porn, dude. The POV,
That's
but
like a form of
24/7.
sex
That's
trafficking.
like
Yeah, it
striking
is.
Viper's aunt.
Yeah, it is, dude. Holy shit.
Oh, fuck.
And I think the entire history of you, looking in the future of Black, ow, I scratched that. Nosedive. I mean,
I
they're
was
very,
thinking that
they're
too.
very similar.
I feel like Nosedive is the episode between us in real life and the
this.
grain.
I think so,
agree
too.
because that's literally the closest episode
To real life.
to real life that we have that I can think of.
Yeah.
It's like it's all about ratings, it's all about follows, it's all about everything else, which we'll get into. That's the first episode I've ever seen, so it's like a special place in my heart. But
Sure.
that is partially a reality for us in 2019.
Yep. Yep.
So
Well, and I think one thing that this episode nails, right, is like we kind of touched on it earlier, but Liam's like dialogue in this episode is just out of control. The way he plays that bitter, jealous, like he's the guy who knows, right? He knows as soon as he sees her with Jonas, he fucking knows, right? And have you guys ever been in that situation?
Yes.
like seeing your partner get flirty with someone.
And then but then
course.
you know that it's more than just flirty, and you follow the trail and get crazier and crazier. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Yes,
that
yes.
insane,
And the outside
but-
looking in,
Yeah.
you're like, this person needs to cool it,
Yeah.
but they're on the right path.
Yes.
Like,
And what I love about that episode, what I love about this episode in that situation
Yeah.
is that I have been in relationships, right, where I know for a fact that there is some shit going down, right? And as I'm trying to investigate, I'm pissed, right? And I know that I'm coming off like an asshole,
Yeah.
but I also know deep down that I'm right, right? And the more you pull, the more you're trying to figure it out, the crazier you seem to yourself and to everybody else.
But you're okay with
you,
it.
But you know you have to keep
Right.
going
Yeah.
because there's something up, right? And I love like when they get home after the dinner party, he's like, so how about Jonas, huh? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, that guy's kind of a douche, right? Like, and she's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, yeah, oily, stupid Jonas, And she's like, yeah, I get it, And he's like, what's up with that? And she's like, all right, look. And you're like, because in real life, when you get okay, I have to tell you something. You're fucked, right? Because there's a confession coming that you want, but equally don't want because you know it's going to hurt.
The conundrum.
But you're also like kind of the one pulling for it. To
Yes,
begin
exactly.
With. I know.
And then he's like,
Because you don't know what decision
Right.
you're going to make in that
and
time.
then when she gets off with it, you're so mean because you're so angry
'Cause you're right.
that you're right and that he's cooler than you and that she was with this guy that's way cooler than you, and he drops
that
that
she
line.
lied about already.
Yeah, dude. And
that little lie.
and he drops that
Marrakesh.
line where he's like,
Is that a
man,
place?
I think.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
place.
Okay.
He drops that line where he's like, that's like really embarrassing that you dated him. You should be embarrassed. Like, are you embarrassed?
I don't remember
Yeah.
that line.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, oh God, dude, this is so fucked.
And up until that point, because I forgot about her actually cheating and everything. I remembered the premise of it, but up until around there, or when
I was fuzzy on the details.
Pretty much when until I found out she actually cheated the whole time, I was like, this guy is like really an asshole.
Right. See,
Liam?
I feel it and I understand it, but I was like, this guy, like, he's
Liam.
yeah, Liam is just being
very irrational, very under the influence. Obviously, I feel you. But then, as everything started flooding back to me, I was like, okay, this is like
now
it's not appropriate as to how I went about some things, but you can't.
You can't fault him.
No,
you can't. And here's the thing. Now, guys, this is totally straight up honest, okay?
Yeah.
The first time I saw this episode, I knew he was right. Because I've been in this exact situation.
Oh, man.
Exact minus the kid, okay? I'm not a father.
That makes things...
And neither is he.
That give
There's no way. He doesn't... does he have blue eyes?
No.
That's why he kept like rewinding the picture. I never thought about that.
Yeah,
but
with the eyes.
She has
brown eyes.
He has green eyes.
They both,
Liam.
and then Jonas has blue eyes.
Yep.
Okay. I believe you.
Yeah, it's Jonas's kid. Okay, but we'll get to that.
Sure.
But when I first saw this episode, I fucking knew because I've been cheated on. I have, and there's nothing more painful. And here's the kicker, and a question I wanted to throw out. Right, is that he sees them at the party, and he's like, huh, and he starts digging, right, and the more he drank, right, the more he obsessed.
Yep.
And he went on this crazy, like, it's like it became an obsession where he's like, you don't want to know, you don't want to go on about it anymore because you seem like a dick, so you're trying to approach it without seeming like a bad guy, but you can't approach it without seeming like a bad guy.
Yes, it's
right?
unfold.
But you've already committed, so you got to keep pulling. Right? And the way she was kind of like dodging it and shit, I'm like, oh, you're guilty, girl. You done it. This is a classic who done it, and guess what? You done it.
And obviously she knew. Because, like, she lied about deleting it, and then she tried to delete it.
And she
lied. Like, when he was asking her, like, did you wear a condom? It's like...
Well, show me.
Like, what does she think that he's not going to be confirm these things?
Right. If someone is asking these elaborate questions, did you have him? Because I know we didn't have it in the house because we were trying to have a baby.
Yep.
Was it in his pocket? And she's like, no, it's out in his car. But it's like, okay, show me. And she's like,
it's like,
girl.
No, that's totally realistic though.
Oh, for sure. When you already know how it went down.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
when you're in the girl's position where you're fucking caught, but you're trying so hard not to get caught.
It's like you're trying to keep the Band-Aid on. You're like, for any last thing,
dude.
like I just can't admit to it.
Yep.
Right. I can't admit to everything.
Right.
I want to keep some lie somewhere, but
so basically through the grain, right? Through replaying and rewatching, and then he goes over to Jonas's house and fucking roughs him up a little bit.
Yep.
And makes him delete all memories of her because of a comment he made at dinner about jacking off to old videos.
Yep.
And the way that she looked at him, and she's like, she said she had a comment and was like, stop.
No,
or
she
said something.
Someone said easy, and I thought it was her. It wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't her?
It wasn't her. It was the other kind of assholey blonde.
Oh,
the host.
The host, that was like, I think it's more important to have the grain. And
dude, can we talk about...
Oh, I don't think she's the one that said that, but I fucking hated her.
Yeah.
She wasn't the host.
It was the other blonde. It wasn't, maybe not the host. It was the other blonde.
The girl that works for the grain company?
Yeah. She's just
I don't
like
want to believe that
easy.
she said it, but...
But let's talk about that dinner party, you guys. I know we're kind of bebopping all over the map, but audience, bear with us, okay? That dinner party, raise your hand if you've been in that situation. Jeremy
An
has.
awkward dinner party?
But like the kind of party where like
you don't belong.
Your spouse is there, right? And you have to go, right? And you're like, fuck. All right, I'll go to the goddamn party, and you like roll up and you're like, God, dude. Hey, and they're like, oh, you're here. You came? Oh, come on in.
She didn't even know who
like,
he was when he came to the door.
Oh, God.
Well, he didn't either. He had to replay it to get her name.
Well, either way, like, if your wife is at this party with all of her old friends, Why wouldn't they know?
It was just
I don't know.
her being a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I think obviously he walked in on her like being flirty with Jonas.
Yeah.
So she wasn't expecting him to be here. So she probably already told everyone like, oh, he's not coming. He had a
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
Because he had to fly from this
He left
interview
early.
or whatever.
Yeah. And the host, right, the girl that is totally a
The other
bitch to
blonde
him,
lady, yeah.
you know that she
Knew.
is the wife's friend, and she's Team Jonas.
Yeah.
So then when
she's just team them.
yeah, and when Liam shows up, she's like, "Oh God damn it, this fucking douche! Yeah, come on in. You want a beer?"
He's not a douche.
Exactly. That's the
she's
whole
just
thing.
she's like the solid background
It's like,
friend
I'm
that will
gonna
hold all your secrets.
exclude-
For
Oh
you.
yeah, exactly.
Like the
Exclude
secret
because
code,
you're
like
not
unicorn.
a part of the originals.
right.
Right.
You're not part of this crew. You're that fucking Fallout lawyer
But I'll
husband.
pretend that I'm nice, but
Yeah.
like also make you feel awkward enough where you don't come around anymore.
And yo, you guys.
See, I don't think it was intentional, but I think it was just because she's carrying the burden. I don't want to say burden. She knows all like these fucking secrets that this group of people, they probably all fucked each other at some point or another.
all at the same time.
And this Liam is on. He's
on the island.
He's not in the circle of trust, you know. And I think it's not an intentional like let me make you fucking feel like a piece of shit outsider thing. It's just I don't know how to act around you because I know everything that your
Yes,
wife has
yes.
done against you.
Yes.
Like
you're
it-
you're
I
absolutely
agree.
because
right.
I've
Yeah.
been that person who
Yeah.
is like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to be around
Right.
you because I know your boyfriend's cheating on you,
Right,
but I
right.
don't want to be the person to tell you that.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And they
Or that
show
your
up.
ex just fucked your best friend.
Right, right.
I don't know, something
and
crazy.
they're like they show up and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you're like, "Good. How you doing?"
Right, you
know?
get
Go
really
on in there.
awkward.
I'll be there shortly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But
I don't
no,
think-
I agree. Because also the guy, what's his name?
The black guy?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
black guy. That was like they just all like have their inside jokes and everything, you know, where they're like, play it. We'll critique you and everything.
I think
God.
the second Liam got there, it was like the whole atmosphere changed because they were like giggling and being stupid on the couch, and she's over there flirting with Jonas, and they're like making dinner or whatever. And then the second Liam shows up, everyone's like, "Oh,
they
hey."
don't know how he is or isn't going to react.
Right,
All
right,
they have
right.
is her side.
It's like,
And dude, do you want to know why that is the worst situation? Okay, now tell me if you guys can relate to this
Okay.
because I feel like it happens to me all the time. Okay, it's the kind of situation, right, where you show up and you know that either people are talking about you or you're like not part of the group, and
Go
you're
on.
like, let's pretend it's that you're not part of the group, right? And so they're trying to like be inclusive, right? But also like they don't really know
They don't
you,
give a
they don't
shit.
really like you,
Right.
right? And then
Don't care about
and
you.
then something comes up to where it's like let me give you an example, okay? So like back in like before I went to rehab when I was like fucking really not doing well in life, guys.
Nice.
Okay, like I'm doing drugs, I'm drinking a lot. I got a little fat, okay?
Long hair.
Like I'll put a picture on our social media for
Please
the audience,
do.
but dude, I got a little chubby, okay? I was doing a lot of drugs, I was drinking a lot of booze, okay? And
Puffy.
I was puffed up.
Yeah.
And greasy, dude. It was bad.
if you're thinking about the picture, there's
you
one
are.
there's one picture of you that I have in mind.
Yep.
And it's like you. I don't know if you're like
He
at
has
this
his
bar.
back turned.
Yes.
I think so.
the
but-
picture.
yeah, I think it's the
infamous
one.
Jeremy
I'll,
picture.
I'll put it on Instagram.
I know that one well.
bad.
But it's like you show up, right? And you're elected to do something that you really don't want to do.
Yep.
Okay. So it's like one night everybody was like, "Hey, let's go hit the pool," you know, like we're all drinking, let's go hit the pool for like jump the fence, go for a swim. And I don't want to go because I'm fat, dude. I don't want to take my shirt off.
Right.
I'm around all these other dudes that got motherfucking abs. And even though my girlfriend knows I'm fat, I don't want her to have the like side-by-side life-size comparison,
Yep.
you know, to like feel
Right.
like how fucking fat I really am. Right? So it's like,
Jesus.
come on, dude, let's go
That's so
swimming.
true.
Right? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to go swimming. And the more I say no, the more they encourage me to do it. And the
Yeah.
more they encourage me, the more mad I'm getting inside.
Right.
But you can't act mad. Right? Because
then
if you
you're gonna
act
get the,
mad,
"Why are you mad?"
then you confirm that you're a dick.
Right.
So you're like, no, I'm good. And they're like, no, come on. And you're like, no, guys, like really, and then you make up some bullshit. I actually, I don't like swimming, you know? And they're like, what?
can't
You don't like
swim.
swimming? And then it turns into this question and answer
Right.
fucking shit show
Too
of a
long.
train
Yes.
wreck, right? And then finally you snap and you're like, dude, I don't want to fucking swim, okay?
Right.
And then
Been there.
you're the asshole.
Right. Yep.
Right? And that was that dinner party.
Oh my god,
Dude, and for
that's
that,
a really good
for
analogy.
that reason, this episode is so unbelievably cringy for me because I have lived all of that minus the fucking tech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I've had
that's
those.
why I really did like this episode. And like, I say it's too cringy just because it's so real. And you could watch that whole thing without the tech
Yeah.
and still be like,
still-
Exactly.
It's
Ah.
bad.
And that's what made it so good is that
Yeah.
even without the tech, it's fucked.
Yeah.
So when you add the tech, oh my God.
it's just, it's amplified.
It's next level shit, dude.
It's bad. I agree.
Okay, now
Can we get
what?
back to the sex part?
Yeah, I
though?
was just gonna say, let's talk about the sex
That
scene, dude.
is literally one
No.
of the cringiest. Thank you. Am I breathing heavy?
I don't know, Cass, but
are you
we're-
talking about like when you think they're actually like fucking hardcore,
Well, no,
but
that's
then they're
literally
like,
how they're having sex is like replaying
So,
other
Cass,
instances.
break down the scene for us, Cass.
Okay, so you watch it pan from like her point of view, his point of view of like some heavier going sex.
Yeah, they're having a
know,
good time. Maybe some
some-
honeymoon sex.
Yeah,
That
you know,
looks
some
good.
groaning and grunting and
And they're
know,
like
scratching.
sweaty.
Yeah,
You know, it's like,
it
hell
was-
yeah, man. They're getting it.
yeah, you know, and it was a good little scene. But then
Yeah, good little scene.
good little thing, you know,
But then it cuts to them literally doing it like
doggy style on
doggy
the side.
style
Yeah,
on the
laying
side, both
behind
like
her.
have their gray eyes and just look like freaking miserable.
And they're barely thrusting.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
Yeah. Just enough
But
to like
in the
know
grain,
what
it's
you're
like,
doing.
but then
Yeah.
like
I
it cuts to
mean-
them in real life,
Oh my
and their
God.
eyes are grayed out. They're both got their clickers in their hands, and it's like,
Yeah, it's
But
Oh,
it makes
God.
it easy for them to not have to put in effort into like spicing up their relationship.
and not only that,
You
but they're
know?
like,
is that.
but do they both? My question is, do they both know that they're doing it?
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But here's my question: I don't know about y'all, okay, but if I was in that situation, I would be like, dude, are you watching me or are you watching some guy from
That's
4
what I
years ago?
thought.
Right. Especially after that whole argument.
Yes.
Right.
Like
I don't
after
think
that
I can have
argument, I'd be like, "Give me your fucking remote. I'm taking it away. Look me in the eyes while you're fucking banging me, dude."
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean,
It's
definitely.
when
there-
you thought they made up. He like went back
Boundaries.
and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I love you. I'm
But
sorry. I
that's
don't know why I
that's
get
what
wet."
Black Mirror's throwing in
It's
your
like-
fucking face, dude.
Yeah, because in the beginning you don't know that they're using their beep boops.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, cool, like makeup sex, dig
fuck
it.
yeah, fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you're just like, ugh.
Oh,
that's
they take it
awkward.
away,
Yeah,
dude.
because we all know that good makeup sex bang, and
I mean, I'm sure there's some people
It
out there
makes
that's like, oh, like the kinky people that are like, well, I guess you'd have to actually have sex with the person before, so it's not really like an imagination thing.
yeah,
Because, I mean, have you guys never thought about someone else while you're having sex with someone?
I mean, sure, you know.
yeah, but
I
it's a
mean,
big
we're all
red
humans.
flag.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm like, oh, maybe I
Yeah, but
really
you
don't like
can't-
this person as much as I think I do. I
Yeah.
just had sex thinking about someone else.
but they
It's
don't
all right,
know that.
guys. We've all been there.
Yeah,
guys.
no,
Yeah,
for
maybe
sure.
I
Yeah.
should reevaluate this relationship.
Absolutely.
But they're in a relationship, married, doing this, and they're okay with it.
I think that basically what I think is we got a striking Vipers situation, but way less fun in that she's like, you know, hey, like I want to watch like our honeymoon tape, and he's like, ooh, that'll be fun, and then
And
they
it
got
start-
hooked on it,
Right, yeah.
right?
Ooh.
Where
Yeah.
like they don't
That's the only way they can have sex now.
Exactly,
Yeah, no, I get
exactly.
that. They've become so conditioned to like, I mean, it's it's almost kind of like Black Museum too with the doctor. Like he's addicted to like that
Pain.
well, it's not pain to begin with.
It's fear.
Pleasure.
The pleasure, yeah, because it's overriding his pleasure. Like he's
So
getting
it's
all
like
the
dopamine
Yeah,
surges. So it's
surge.
like if you're being able to recount some of the hottest, kinkiest sex of your life with your partner or not,
yeah.
no matter, in my mind, if you're, barely pumping away, it's, in my mind, not going to matter because you feel like you're reliving it but it's like, I don't know. That'd be
Yeah,
weird.
But
It's super weird.
like any other drug too. Like you build up a tolerance to it. How
Yeah.
many times can you watch the same sex tape over?
Well, and it's like, I mean, when you look at look at the porn you looked at when you were like a teenager, and then look at the porn you
Scramble
watch
porn.
now, right? And it's like, dude, like you need more and more as you go,
Yeah.
like anything, you know. And so it's like when you take a relationship that's very very clearly on the fucking fritz, right? It's like,
Right.
yeah, of course that's how they're gonna bang, you know. But let's fast forward a little bit because I definitely want to get into how shitty this wife is. Okay, so
Let's talk about her.
So this whole time, Liam is worried that she just had a relationship with Jonas, right? And that's what sends him off the deep end. He goes to Jonas's pad, and then he's fucking hammered, dude. This guy's drinking so much alcohol.
he was
And then-
chugging.
Oh, dude, one other fact. Hold that thought. Crazy way that the tech integrates to society.
Oh.
He gets in
Insurance
his
stuff.
car,
That was really cool.
right?
I really like that.
Yeah, he gets in his car, and it's like, hey, your grain is telling me that you're way too drunk to drive, so you can drive.
Your personal and your automobile insurance
Is-
will not apply right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
So,
drive, participate in this dangerous activity at your own risk.
right.
Yep.
It tells you, it asks them to like override it. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah.
So in that moment, you and all your insurance companies have your verbal confirmation that you don't give a flying fuck that you're
And you're
hammered.
no longer insured.
And
Yep.
it's all on you.
Yeah, dude.
That's really cool.
It's cool shit.
Yeah,
I'm
I would-
actually down for that.
Yeah.
I did really like that.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I know. I forgot about that the first time.
The only thing I hope is that if he hit another car, that his insurance would pay out to the other person. I think it's more like your liability.
His possession in
yeah.
his life.
Yeah.
Like if he were to die,
yeah.
like life insurance ain't paying out because of your stupid mistake. Like
Exactly.
it doesn't matter.
I like that.
But we also kind of skipped over one thing in the very beginning scene.
Let's bring it back.
And because I want to dig into the wife. FYI, we're really far in this episode, but if you've made it this far, turn on your subtitles.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
Because the UK accent is very, very thick and you can't understand it. But when we did turn them on, the whole like kid, like it's the lawyers, the board or whatever, and they're talking about this whole new division where kids can sue their parents
For neglect
by not giving them attention via redos, and that's what they call like rewinds, you
Yep.
know, like going
Yep.
back through the memories.
Yep.
And that's like, and Liam is like, is the firm like ethically and like morally okay with this? And they're like, yep,
Are you?
are you? And he's like, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
That's a really dark side.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Like outside of like your own personal BS, but like,
And for better or worse, right? Because it's like with the Me Too movement, right?
right.
That's a pro and a big con.
Right.
Right? Like a lot of people get fucking executed on the Twitter tribunal wrongfully, in my opinion.
Sure.
A lot of people get away with fucking rape and all this other crazy shit that they absolutely shouldn't get away with. You know,
Right.
like the fucking Harvey Weinsteins and all these other fucks that are going around like raping people,
Right.
burn them at the stake, right? But then there's other people like James Gunn who fucking tweeted 10 years ago, right? Some like black
yeah.
humor, and he gets fired from Disney, right?
Right.
So there's pros and cons, but imagine if you could litigate against somebody because they didn't give you enough attention, and because of that, your life doesn't amount to much because
Right.
you're insecure.
And I mean,
Well, imagine just interacting with the world, knowing you could never be yourself.
Never.
you
Never.
can't fly. You can't get on a plane
Oh,
without
that was cool.
showing them like your last 24 hours, your last
week,
64, your last week, your last 64 days. It's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Like, I mean, yeah, and it's like no
It's
major
safe?
deletions, and he's like, no,
Right.
Like it's a societal thing where it's like, oh yeah, you know, deletions are nothing out of the quota range. Like it's fine. Like you can't. There's obviously like a set standard where like it becomes suspect if there are blank spots in
Oh,
your
yeah.
thing because, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it doesn't go too far into like the details of it, like what the consequences would be, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Easter egg maybe, or not Easter egg, but like flashback in the future episode maybe that'd be
Yeah.
sick.
Mm-hmm.
But it leaves me thinking like why Like, why do they need like to go through it for like the last week so they can like report you?
Yeah,
Well,
so that if they see you commit murder, they see you
Sure.
rape
Or
somebody.
you, like,
Or hella
they're
blank spots.
They're
Yeah.
going on a plane, you know, after 9/11.
They just bought bombs.
Yeah, they're just made a bomb
Right.
last night and packed it in a suitcase,
Yep,
and
yep.
it's like, hey, what do you
Sure.
got in your fucking suitcase?
Yeah,
right now?
rewind your tape, bitch.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and it comes down to
interesting.
that, like, if you have nothing to hide, you should be fine, but also then there's a sense of like, where's our privacy?
Well, and that's why this tech, that's why Black Mirror is so
Hard.
brilliant.
Yeah, it
is
brings both
because
sides.
You're like, wait, is this good or is this bad? And we'll get to that when we get to the question.
Yeah.
But with this wife, okay, so
You guys hating on her.
I'm hating on her, dude. I got mad hate for her, dude.
Okay.
All right,
talk
here's
about
why.
it.
Okay, because so he goes over to fucking confront Jonas,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of basically his sole reason for confronting Jonas is like, dude, I don't want you jerking off to old sex tapes with my wife, right?
Right.
Which is fair, but also like his memories are his, so fuck off, kind of.
Sure.
But anyways, in watching him delete the old tapes, he recognizes a painting from their current bedroom.
Just a glimpse.
And him, when he discovers that his wife was in fact having an affair, the way he portrayed that was so awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
It was
yeah.
so accurate. And then he goes and he confronts his wife, right? And basically, what we come to find out is that they got in a big fight.
oh my
He
god.
left for 5 days.
That's right.
And in that 5 days, she fucked some other dude. Get out of here, dude. That is not wife material, man.
No, and
That-
he's like proud of you for making it for 4 days.
Yeah.
Without.
He was
fucking.
like, that's heroic.
Yeah.
5 days.
3 days.
Or
4.
no, you fucked
you're
him
a hero.
at 4, 3,
Right.
3. You know,
You're
that's
desperate.
pretty. You know,
Yeah.
Or some
that's
shit.
pretty great. But,
But 4, like, good job for holding out that long.
yeah,
And then they
That
find
frickin'
and then
scummy.
18 months ago, which is exactly how old the kid is.
yeah.
Not his,
Timestamp.
not his kid, dude. Fuck.
That's.
But then
what
the
a
most
bitch.
depressing part of the episode
When it goes
is
back
that
and
after
relives.
she
Yeah.
leaves and he's going through the house reliving all those moments, and then it makes you wonder, had he not had the grain, would he have replayed all those instances that led him to be insecure and jealous to the degree that he goes on the investigation, finds out she's cheating, finds out it's not his kid, and completely ruins his life? Is that the better outcome? Or is ignorance bliss? Would it have been better? Because he clearly misses her. His house is clearly just a house now. When it had her in it, it was a home, right? And he's looking at her smile.
He's living in his house.
And he's fucking watching her living in this home happy, and he's destroyed. So
I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have played ignorant, because even before he started investigating, like, and zooming in, like, because literally he walks in, sees their interaction, she turns and is like, "Oh, hi,"
right.
you know, and then she kisses him. They're like all going to dinner, and he like stays behind for a second, and he like does a quick rewind of like their interaction. It be even like that moment of seeing your significant other being flirty, and then instantly shifting into like stiff, rigid, like, oh, I just got caught doing something I shouldn't be.
Sure.
You're not letting that go.
No, but here's my question.
Okay.
Had he not had the grain, would it have gone as far as it did?
well, it looked like their marriage was
It was not good.
not
No,
good.
absolutely not. But would it
also,
have
does
gone
it
that
push it
far?
to them to
think it
actually have
would.
to put effort into their marriage?
Things go that far now.
Sure, but what I'm saying is that
Like
In a
him
rel-
going over and beating his
in
the
a
dude's
relationship,
face
right?
in or
Like
whatever.
all that stuff happens in a
but it
relationship,
takes
but
someone
you
to just say,
you can get
no,
over
you're crazy.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
like,
it.
look, I dated him. Look, we fucked. Okay, we fucked. We were fucking for 6 months. He's cool. I'm not. But I love you. Like, we have a kid. Like, this is our marriage. Like, look, and I'm sorry. I lied about it. You know, you can get over shit.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
But with the grain, you ain't getting over a goddamn thing.
no, it's at
No.
your fingertips.
Exactly. So that leads us to the question.
God.
The big question.
Would you
Oh,
take it
no,
out or
No,
not?
we have the
Yeah.
unsung.
Oh yeah, unsung hero.
Unsung. Is it unsung?
Unsung.
Unsung.
Yeah. The
Unsung.
unsung hero. What do you guys got?
Oh God.
I'll just cut that dead air out.
I'm thinking. but we'll still cut it out.
You're cutting this out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I hadn't really given it much thought.
I remember the last one.
What was the last one?
The last one was the black market.
Oh, yeah.
Like for the grain or something like that.
Interesting.
I had a good one and I can't remember what it was. The unsung. Doing the most by doing the least. This is bad. Why can't we think of one?
I don't know. Okay, I think I got one.
I think I might have one.
Okay.
I don't.
I think I'm going to go with alcohol. Because
That's a good one,
had
Jeremy.
he not been drinking that much, he wouldn't have gone as deep as he had.
Yeah, the rabbit hole wouldn't have been.
And
as
had he
far.
not broken that bottle, Jonas wouldn't have popped up his videos.
That is true.
Boom. What do you got, Cass?
Mine wasn't nearly as good. No, we're sticking with yours.
We're sticking with that.
Yeah.
All right. Now that leads us to the question. If you had the grain and all this shit went down, would you cut it out of your head? I would.
I abso-fucking-lutely would.
I would for the same reason in Nosedive that I would get rid of all my shit and let
Yeah.
it tank. You know?
Well, I'm in
Delete my
addict in
social.
everything I do, full
Yeah.
blown. You
Right.
know, I get that and start review. Oh my god.
Yeah, see, I know.
Or things that I'm very proud of for myself, right?
Sure.
And remember it in a certain way.
Yeah.
And then if I were to go rewind it and realize it wasn't as great as I thought it was, like I'd destroy
Yeah.
everything.
Everything. Yeah, I feel like I'd be the kind of guy that would get the grain for sure. Because I'd want to fucking know. I'm the guy buying all the newest tech, even though I totally don't fucking need it. But then it would start fucking my life up, and I'd have to cut it out.
Well, I think it just defeats the purpose of fucking life. You get
100%.
one shot to do everything. You
Yeah.
know, you just try.
Right.
You don't have to go relive it to figure out whether or not it was perfect or not. Like, we're humans. We try to do our best.
And we're not meant to remember perfectly.
Yeah.
We're meant to experience things and be present for them and enjoy them or not enjoy them and learn from them. But with something like the grain, it makes things that should be impermanent very permanent.
Yep.
And that's fucking not life, dude.
Well, you can re-stimulate any feeling based off of, like, any memory.
Right.
So when you're living in the past and
Yep.
all these things, you are truly creating that same feeling that you were in.
Yep.
So you're never going to escape misery,
Nope.
insecurities,
Nope.
all of these things that are such. We live with them,
Yeah.
but we manage and we get through it.
Exactly. But you can't manage with that, especially because in the cab, he watched a commercial for the next grain.
Yeah.
And it was all sensory, right? So you feel the actual physical touch.
Oh,
Right.
I missed
So it's not
on
just
that.
visual and audio. It's touch, smell, sound. It's all five senses, right? Through your memory. Dude, fuck that, man.
Really?
It'll ruin your life. You'll kill yourself.
I can't get behind it,
Yeah.
guys. I'm sorry.
Well, like,
Yeah.
let's say, like, okay, if you had really, I don't know why I'm so stuck
Like
on this.
the minute, like you're down for it now, but the minute a guy
didn't- I-
breaks
What
your
if you
heart,
had like really, really, really good sex and in your head you were like, that was good sex. But you go to replay it and it's the most awkward fucking thing in the world.
yeah, dude, or a guy
That'd be
breaks
kinda
your
fun.
heart, you know,
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
You
And
want to
then
I've been
feel
dumped. I
those
know
things?
how it is.
yeah.
But I don't think I would actively seek that shit out, though.
No, but one thing would a little breadcrumb.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
not that guy.
I don't know, Mike.
I don't.
I feel like at our core as human beings,
Oh, yeah.
we have the hardest thing on planet Earth for every human being on planet Earth to do is stay in the present moment. That is
know.
the hardest thing for human beings to do, right? Harder than anything. And you're going to basically make that 100% accessible.
Yeah, I get it. It's very hard for me to conceptualize that. I can't go down that rabbit hole like you two apparently can. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God.
Black Mirror just took us down it, dude.
I mean, I get it. I was there. I watched it. I lived it. But in terms of like this context, I can't. My brain is not there right now for some reason. But I'm just like smiling because Hopper's being really cute.
Oh.
Aw.
He's our biggest fan.
Yeah.
Hopper. But yeah, what would you cut it out of your head? That's a no. You'd feel like you would use it in moderation, Michael.
I didn't say that. But am I in
You
Liam?
just sounded like Liam, dude, with that passive aggressive
know.
Yeah, I
zinger,
just want to
dude.
know. Like,
You're sometimes a bitch.
would you?
You're a bitch. You're a bitch.
Oh my god.
Okay. Am I Liam in this instance? In this question?
Yes, because Liam is a very accurate depiction.
I don't think I would cut it out myself. I think I would be
Yeah.
like, hey, girl that slept with Jonas, can you like gouge out my fucking grain so it looks legit and not like I did it myself?
Yeah.
Because that was some sloppy fucking work.
Well, there's got to be a market for it underground where you can go pay $1,000
Oh,
and
I'm
they
sure.
fucking,
Yeah, that's easy.
they
You
destroy
should
it
do
in
that.
front of you, you know.
Yeah.
I would do that. I wouldn't go about
Well,
it
it
like he
seems
did.
so
Yeah, fuck.
integrated that like people, I guess, when you're born, you get it ingrained.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
even
Because they
she
have an
was like, "Oh,
airport.
I didn't go blind," because I mean, he pulled it out and it was
It's the string.
fully attached to
Yeah,
like his spinal
dude.
cord.
It was nuts.
like it was in there. You
That was
know, like,
gnarly.
it
I
was-
couldn't. Oh,
Like-
that.
At home, you would die.
Yeah,
like if
dude.
something was so inwoven into like your spinal,
Your sensories,
yeah.
just your whatever the I can't remember what it's called something, but
cerebral
you're
cortex.
you're not. We all just nodded like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Good science,
That's
Cass.
about right.
That's a part of the brain.
Yeah.
I don't. You wouldn't just be like, okay, well that's done.
Right.
You'd be like,
Yeah,
Well,
you
at
bleed
that
out,
point,
dude.
it's so defeated, and I'm glad that he did it because he's like, he has to move on at some point.
Mm-hmm.
He's made his bed, rightfully so. The girl was a cheating bitch and lied about every step of the way.
Yep.
Where it could have gone probably different if she was honest from the get-go.
Totally.
Because I kind of did feel like she was remorseful, but I also didn't really care because
She
I
was
already
only remorseful because she got caught.
Yeah. But I don't think she didn't want to be with him and raise a kid with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I think.
She didn't
Bless you,
want her
Michael.
life
Sorry.
to be ruined. She was at least comfortable. Like,
No, she wanted to, because she realized that it was over. And in that moment of realizing it's over, do you feel the regret and the weight of your consequences, right? And so she was trying to play it like, oh, fuck, no, I don't want this. I don't want this. If you didn't want this, you shouldn't have fucked Jonas in the goddamn bedroom that your husband sleeps in. And that's
without
that.
a condom.
Ooh, God. And
well,
then,
she was so so deep at that point when
Yeah.
they have an 18-month-old kid.
yeah, dude.
And you know that you cheated 18 months.
And you know
or
she-
it had to have been longer.
And to add even more stakes to her shit show of a life now, she ain't working. He's the sole breadwinner, and he's a fucking lawyer.
Yeah.
So
But Mike, just what do you guys think? Do you think he kicked her out or she left?
I think she left.
I think so too.
I think
The
he
guilt.
kicked her out.
I think it's both of like, oh, so you fucked him without a condom? We're done. And she's like, I know.
She was probably because she's very.
Or did
passive.
he get super aggressive with her?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
I think that was as far as it went because
And that was he like weirdly grabbed her head and like shook her and then threw
Well, yeah,
her head
because you
down.
don't want to hurt her, but you want her to know like I'm fucking pissed. Not that
I'm
I condone
serious.
that. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not condoning it either, but goddamn, you got to get through.
Yeah, like when you
I
find
I
get
don't
out.
want
it.
to go that. I don't want to go that route, but like, sometimes people need
You
to
gotta
be
get
like
someone's
shaken up a little bit.
attention.
Like,
Yeah, man.
My dad like hit me when like right before I came to rehab. I mean, I'll do like a light reenactment. He was like, "Rah!" Like I was literally opening the car door and like he pushed my face and I fell out of the truck, like. But I needed
Anger
it.
also
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
from
I
love.
needed it to like wake the fuck up and like
Right.
because I was not right.
Right,
You know?
right.
But you need that like external jolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
If
again, I'm
everybody
not
walked on
condoning
eggshells.
breaking a bottle and
Yeah.
like taking it to someone's throat, but like giving the little shake, sure, like wake the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah, like I know what you did.
Yeah, and like if she didn't want like her relationship to end and all this horribleness to come, knowing that everybody can remember literally everything, maybe you don't cheat on your husband.
Yeah, that's the thing
You
is I
know?
felt like she kept forgetting that you could replay everything. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Which how do you forget when it's impossible
And
to
he's
forget?
confronting you on all the
She
stuff he's
didn't
figured
forget.
out.
Yeah.
But she was acting like that,
Yeah, yeah,
where
she
I
was-
wanted her to just be like, okay, we'll just let it all out there. Like, you're gonna be more than alive
But
regardless.
people don't like getting caught, and
People
that's
don't like getting caught. She still tried to delete it, and that's like when he roughed her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
like, don't you fucking dare try and delete it now.
right.
But I thought that was so real. Where you're like, sorry, I'm
That's-
getting mesmerized by that.
The screensaver.
yeah.
I mean, in reality, like that's how a lot of like couples go through shit like this when they know their partner's cheating. It's like, I got the receipts, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, but I want you to own it.
Yeah.
Like, take responsibility.
Right. I
And
don't
tell
want
me
to be the
fucking
one
truth.
to tell you what you did.
Right.
I want you to tell me what you
Right.
did, and I don't want to have to go on this fucking breadcrumb,
Witch hunt.
witch hunt,
Breadcrumb.
to figure it out. Right, but that's what made this episode so fucking brilliant, dude. The combination of the tech with all of the real humanistic elements combined.
It is the one I'm most scared of in the sense of it being super close and something that like I know it would destroy my life.
Yep, 100%.
And I couldn't prevent it.
No,
So I think that's why like it's so Black Mirror. It deserves a higher letter grade, but it terrifies me so much
Yep.
I can't give it.
no, that makes sense.
I get it.
Well, that's our take on the entire history of you.
We just end it
but-
there.
A crazy episode, dude. I know if we don't, we're gonna keep going, and it's
Oh my
fucking.
God. Well, that's
amount
what
of
Black
juice.
Mirror does. Like my brain now has 13 million other questions that
Yep.
I'm gonna hit you with like via text or next time
Yeah.
I see you and be like, dude, remember this?
Yep.
There's just
Great
so
episode.
much. Yeah,
It's
Great
good.
episode.
And I am so enjoying this going back and watching everything, and I'm super excited for season 2 that we're about to hit you with probably
Yep.
next week or this upcoming week.
2 weeks.
What?
Yeah.
No,
Or
3 weeks.
Oh, yeah,
we'll have
no.
to do it this upcoming week. I'm gone for a week, guys.
Oh well, we'll preload. We'll get them all done.
We'll
Yeah.
preload.
But yeah, you guys stick around.
Oh my god, that just scared the shit out of me.
That sounded funny. Cut
So-
that out.
What's our next episode?
What
Season
is-
2, episode 1. Let's.
I
find
don't
out.
know what that
I
is.
got
It
I
White
got
Bear? No.
Hold on.
I got it. Pause.
Oh no, I was just saying, Mike, tell us what the next
I'm getting
episode
there,
is.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Black
I wanna
Mirror.
know.
Sorry, I've never heard that saying. We'll preload.
Preload.
I just
Pre-film.
Never mind.
It sounds weird.
Well, we'll just preload.
Yeah.
I can't get there.
There's White Bear in this season.
Be right back.
Okay, so the next episode we're coming at you with
This week.
is Be Right Back,
It's
dude.
Be Right Back, then White Bear, Waldo moment, and then White Christmas.
Oh my God! So
this is
we've
going to be a
got-
good season.
Look,
Ah!
we've got a party of Black Mirror coming at you guys. We
I'm
all hope
stoked.
that you've enjoyed reliving all these wonderful Black Mirror moments. Yeah, like we said, we've got one hell of an episode coming at you guys next. This was the entire history of you. Original air date was 2011, starring Toby Kebbell as Liam, Jodie Whittaker as Fionn, and Tom Cullen as the douchey but also totally lovable Jonas. Make sure you guys find us on social media, okay? Find us on Instagram, Facebook, all that good shit. Make sure you follow us, like our page. We put a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff up there. We actually got a great video of Cassidy's blooper reel that's
yeah.
about to go viral, guys.
It's really fucking funny.
So get after it. But thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. I'm Jeremy Miller.
Cassidy Doherty.
And Michael Harness.
See you guys next week.